has been taken down, and for the most part, it was taken down without incident, but certainly taken down in a dramatic fashion. When we saw those officers move in, it was a very tense situation, not knowing what they would be facing. Protesters themselves chanting peaceful protest, and for the most part, what we saw play out here this morning was, by and large, peaceful, with the exception of some projectiles that were being thrown at some of the officers as they were trying to move in.
Absolutely. And, you know, on that note, when it comes to, as far as there's going to be many questions to this point and that point, there are also going to be things to look at and questions as to how this was able to stay peaceful, why this didn't get violent.
Look at this picture here in front of Royce Hall now, because I had asked earlier whether or not officers were able to access that, but this is what some of those protesters did. Those barricades also formed in front of Royce Hall and in front of the entrances there to prevent anyone from going inside. And you can see some of the property there has also been defaced as well. Oh,
you know, both sides of this. On one hand, the protesters were trying to keep people, agitators, out of the encampment. On the other hand, there were many people, many students saying, hey, listen, I paid to go to school here. This is my campus too. I should be able to move as freely as I want throughout this entire place, and I don't like what it looks like, how it feels, that I'm being told I can't go somewhere on my campus.
All right, we're approaching the 6 o'clock hour here on Good Day LA. I didn't really hear what the producer had said. Are we going to?
Obviously, we have Jen and Melvin here to the side, and so as it is 6 o'clock, we are going to move on out and have them, you know, come in and talk to you a little bit about, you know, what you all have been seeing. We've been here since 3 o'clock in the morning, somewhat. Gigi, talk to us a little bit more as Mel and Jen come in, just really about what you've seen this morning.
You know, it's interesting. We're in Royce Hall right now, and the cleanup is going to be substantial here. There are different signs in different languages. Here you have black Bruins with Palestine, Chicanas for Palestine, Indonesians for a free Palestine, Viva la Resistencia, Viva la Palestina, long live Palestine in Spanish. From Puerto Rico to Palestine, end settler colonialism. We stand against oppression. Here's a sign in an Asian language, Latinas for Palestine. So you have messages of support from all the different people that were here. Latinas para una Palestina libre, Latins for a free Palestine. Los estudiantes mexicanos estamos con Palestina. Mexican students are standing with Palestine. So you see just a little bit, black Bruins for Palestine, the different signs. Be the generation that stands against genocide and the siege. Disclose, divest now. Now, this is what part of the message that the protesters had for UCLA, and this has been a message that we've seen across the country at the different universities. The university students asking the different colleges, the different schools to divest from any investments they may be making in Israel because of the situation there. Latinos for Palestine, free Palestine, and on it goes. You can see Save Gaza. We have to sort of be careful because there's some not appropriate for television words mixed in amongst us, but you can see the level of the cleanup that's going to be have to be done to Royce Hall. So there's also that factor. This is going to cost them a pretty penny to clean up all of this graffiti.
And Gigi, good morning to you. Good morning, everybody. This is an image that we haven't really seen so much of, because this is up against Royce Hall on campus at UCLA, right? Like right at that entryway as you would walk into the hall. That's where you are, right?
Yes, it is an absolutely beautiful building. You can see these beautiful high ceilings here. And all of this is now, all of the walls are either spray painted or chalked with different messages. Not in our name, Jews for a free Palestine. We saw a lot of people who identify themselves as students and said that they were Jewish and they supported the cause. So you have Jews for free Palestine, we love you, Gaza. We won't cease until Palestine is free. And that was a message, a lot of the protesters being taken into custody. Here you see this beautiful doorway. It is all spray painted. And this appears that the protesters themselves barricaded the doors, maybe possibly to protect from police getting into the building through a back entrance and coming out the front. We did see police staging in the different buildings, but maybe this is why they barricaded. I mean, take a look. I don't know if you can make out these wooden pallets. And look at this. Actually, take a look at this chain. That pallet is actually chained to the pillar to be able to block the door. So look at this, Free Gaza. Go ahead.
Yeah, the level of fortification that we're seeing and how it played out over the last few days at UCLA, it really is something that we really haven't seen much of, except for Columbia. The scale of it, the scope of it, the reinforcements. You have essentially a small city that's been set up around campus. Gigi, for those who are just joining us, UCLA has become now the nationwide epicenter of these college campus protests in the last, I would say, 2 to 3 hours. CHP has made very quick work of clearing out this encampment. It was quite the ordeal. Can you kind of walk us through how this all played out this morning?
Well, I think this really starts, today is Thursday. We have to actually think about, because we've been here so long, what day it is. Today's Thursday. So Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, you had a pro-Israeli group of about up to 200 protesters square off with the pro-Palestinian camp. Now, those inside the encampment say they were attacked. There certainly was a lot of fighting between both sides. It got very violent. We saw some serious head injuries. Windshields were shattered of cars. Bear spray, mace, pepper spray, fire extinguishers were set off. It was very violent, and there was no law enforcement in sight for several hours until campus police actually called the LAPD in to come and break this up. The violence, the level of violence, I think surprised. I don't understand why it surprised police or why it surprised, I shouldn't say police, I should say the campus. Given what was happening across the country, it seemed to almost catch them off guard. That prompted the campus, which had already told the encampment that they had to leave. The encampment was unlawful. Again, the message to the people in the encampment was from the campus president was, we support your right to free speech. We support your right to demonstrate, but we do not support this encampment. It is unlawful and it must be taken down. And last night, police organized during the entire day. The different police agencies were planning, and they decided to move in. It was very well organized. Thankfully, there was not a lot of violence. There was a little bit of resistance. We saw some things thrown at police officers, umbrellas. I don't think any officers were injured. That may change when it comes out later. No students. We saw one student. I believe Mario saw one student on a gurney who is apparently hurt. Unclear if maybe in one of the scuffles. Fire extinguishers were set off. You know, that was uncomfortable, but really no violence. It was very well organized. And now you're looking at the encampment, what's left of it, and we can imagine the cleanup will start soon.